session. I can't even keep track of anymore.
Third session.
Third for the
Third
second
session.
that you and I
We got
have
one more coming up.
one more, yes.
So between these two sessions, we'll make sure that you are right on track to be ready for our competition and feel comfortable with our kids accomplishing what they need to do, so we can have a smooth ride for a very rough year.
Well said. Well said.
So introductions. I think we kind of all know each other here.
You want to go into
Maybe Tina's gonna
presentation mode?
If I do presentation mode, I'm gonna lose all of you guys.
Okay, they're gonna see our hidden slides though. Just saying.
Huh?
They're gonna see our hidden slides.
Oh, I would have jumped. I'm okay. All right. Oh no, I got it this time. I don't know why before I didn't do that. So again, Carmen Garcia, Miami-Dade County Public Schools. I'm at Jose Martin Mast. I teach the 6th through 12th. I've got anything and everything under computer science and engineering, with my business entrepreneurship tied into all of it. And I do it in just all about my classes. One way or another, they all make up a business. And some of them actually like to bring it to fruition.
Hi, I'm Alexis Greer. I'm in Salisbury, North Carolina, about 40 miles outside of Charlotte. Charlotte tends to be the one that people actually know. I am the design thinking and entrepreneurship teacher. All 9th grade students in my school take that class. And I'm telling you, the two pair together beautifully. After I teach them how to change the way they think and how they become innovative problem solvers, then I teach them how to monetize it. That's pretty much how the two work together. And it seems to work well for us. I've been with NFTE now, is this 3 years, 4 years? Long enough, not, longer than some, more than others. Daniel said 3. 3 is the number we're going with. And we're ready. We're excited. We're going to show them the agenda.
Yep. Let's move on.
So we have a running agenda in here. So you see like the December one, but we're at January 28th. And the agenda's right there. It is ready to go. And we're going to keep you guys on it. We're going to get out of here as quickly as possible. If I cannot choke to death. No, we did not, Daniel. It was in the summertime. Ha. It wasn't February. He put in the training and he trained me. He trained me in the summer. But in Atlanta, we're going to keep you guys going. I'm going to jump in with the icebreaker. Are we ready?
Let's go.
I'm ready to break ice. Chris is already talking about people, how awesome they are. I want to find out how you guys' minds work. Let's go forward. Did we lose it? All right, so I like to start with a little game called Would You Rather? And Carmen, there's going to be like one click for every one of them. So I'm going to need you guys to participate with me. You can either unmute or in the chat, write out. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the past? Daniel, quick on the draw. Would he rather see the future? 150 years. Ooh. Somebody tell me why the future. Y'all talk. This don't work if we don't talk.
The past wasn't necessarily the best
right
for certain people in this country, so I'm not going backwards.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Oh, I'm seeing some good stuff right now, by the way. Because my next question was why in the future? And Corinne has already put like winning lotto numbers. She needs 10 minutes in the future. So
I agree.
The winning lotto numbers, that is brilliant. Are there better reasons than that for why you guys would move into the future? It's not that long, it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, but you can see a lot in 10 minutes.
You can.
That could be a good trailer.
Oh my God. Could you imagine a trailer for that movie? 10 minutes to the future.
There was a movie like that. I want to say it was Nicolas Cage. You could see like 30 minutes or so into the future, but like a limited window. But he used that to like win money at the casino.
Well, you ruined my trailer. This was about to be brilliant, Daniel. Thanks a lot Could y'all
It
hear
was
my
a
voice?
Nicolas Cage movie,
getting
can always be
warmed up?
redone.
I was getting warmed up, and he gonna jump in and say, "We did that already. Come
All right, I'm
on."
on mute. I'm on mute.
Okay. Next question is gonna be for y'all. Guys, for those of you that are like, "Oh my God, I'm dying," there's 4. Ha ha ha. Would you rather have telekinesis, the ability to move things with your mind, or telepathy, the ability to read minds? Discuss. Well, somebody just put tele. They both start with tele. That don't help. Ooh, I got telekinesis. I got read minds. Y'all know I'm gonna need some. Ooh. I got Corinne again. She like, I don't know. I don't want to know what other people are thinking. That may be true. Who? Okay, somebody that wanted telekinesis. Tell me why. You gotta unmute, guys. This is for the recording. They can't see that.
I've watched X-Men, and the ability to read minds, if you can't turn it off or control it, it gets really loud in there.
Oh my God, yeah, I could imagine that would drive you crazy. But like telekinesis, wouldn't that make you like the laziest person in the world?
No, you could do so many amazing things with telekinesis. Like, oh my God, telekinesis would be like one step below being a god.
Really?
I believe.
No,
I don't think so.
Telepathy.
He's still working out. You're just working out your mind.
So I want to say something about telepathy, the ability to read minds. Sometimes you read the Bible and you're like, you come upon a passage and you're just like, wow, that just like really hits home. And one of the passages I came across the other day is like really strive hard to understand people. So reading people's minds would really make things a lot easier. So that's pretty powerful stuff.
Especially your wives, right? Like your wife, like to read their mind in advance, that would be so amazing.
Oh my God.
I can promise you right now.
Or you could just move the garbage can.
Or you can hear when they're lying. That's the thing.
As a man dating a Gemini, you do not want to get stuck in those minds.
That's the thing. I want to be able to turn it off because sometimes you don't want to hear things.
Oh yeah, that's probably true. That
Like
was
what I teach in the class. I don't want to hear what my teenagers are thinking.
I know, but sometimes I do wonder, like, what is going on in your head that you think this is okay? So flip side to both of those. Love this. All right, y'all keep this energy. Question number 3. Is it coming? Are we getting it? He did it. Would you rather go back? Thank you. Always have a full phone battery or a full gas tank?
Gas tank.
Wait a minute. Corinne, I just need you to talk, okay? Because what you are giving me in the chat is great. She put gas. Have you seen these prices? Come on.
I'm eating dinner because my daughter has to go to jiu-jitsu, so I have to eat dinner.
Which you never shared what dinner was, we asked.
Yes, I did. You didn't hear me.
What did you say?
Chicken pot pie.
It was pot pie and green beans because I got yelled at from my doctor for not eating enough vegetables.
That sounds good, actually. Wait a minute. Electric charge. That doesn't count. That's not one of your options.
You need electricity for that battery.
Well, still, full tank of gas is not that important in Miami. I'll let you say that. Ooh.
I'd put a nice large battery. It would last forever.
I'm hearing good stuff, especially for Miami. Like there's like, you guys get plenty of warning about your bad weather. So you would go.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think about, to have a good full gas to tank, you know, to like have to get out of town real quick, but
you have time. Yep, Daniel's right. Finding gas can be a pain. All right, guys, our last one. Would you rather visit the International Space Station for a week or spend a week in a hotel at the bottom of the ocean?
Oh, hotel on the bottom of the ocean. That's an easy one for me. Yeah.
Space station.
Ooh, this one I knew was gonna be good because I said there's like, what in the world? Talk to me, people. Why? Oh,
Animals
Marisol.
at the bottom of the ocean, no animals in space.
So you went with ocean because you want animals?
To
Yeah,
be,
you can see them,
yeah,
enjoy them.
Well,
To watch
Marisol
the
put
wildlife.
like space station because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Do you have many opportunities to spend a week in a hotel at the bottom of the ocean? And if so, please share with us those opportunities.
Yeah, where and
That's
when?
what I'm saying. Like the space station was the only once in a lifetime. Oh my gosh.
I've been in a glass bottom boat, and the ocean is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but the space station, like you said, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's a different perspective on our world that I would like to see.
Interesting. Really? Fernando said there is one in the Bahamas if you're really interested.
But yeah, I think there is, right? Maybe not all the way at the bottom, but isn't there like some hotel that's like underwater?
Like deep enough?
Atlantis runs like you can walk underneath the thing, and I think some of the rooms are beneath. Yes.
Oh, you said if you're interested. I am interested. Gonna have to look that one up. Good. Well, I hope everybody had fun. Just kind of would you rather thinking about, you know, these are some things you may, you know, never get a chance to explore. Although if somebody gets a chance to spend a week on the International Space Station, please pass that along to the rest of the group. We're going to want to know about that. Or find a hotel at the bottom of the ocean. We got one on the top that we're going to go. Somebody's going to go visit and report back. Yay. Thank you, guys. I feel like everybody's up and talking now. That's what we wanted. Carmen, I think you're up next. I think I hand it off to you. Oh, no, we don't.
No, staff corner.
Yeah. Chris.
Dear
Or
Mr.
Daniel.
Chris and Dan.
Yeah, I need my Angela, what's the forgot comedian horn. Yeah, I don't have it set up, but next time around for the last one, it's gonna be official. But all right, teachers, welcome. The ones that are here that made it today, we might expect a few more to come, but really welcome. Thank you for attending our third PLC, produced by Ms. Greer and Ms. Carmen Garcia. And one of the things I want to go over with you guys is please don't forget about the Padlet. The Padlet right here, this is your go-to timeline for the year. We had updated January. I'm working on adding some things for February, March, and April into the Padlet. This is your guide on the side to show you what's coming up next in the world of Nifty on your timeline, some of the things you could do, some of the things you don't have to do. So one of the things I wanted to make sure of, actually, even before I explain the Padlet, welcome Denise Ferguson that's on, and Daniel Williams. I believe Victor might be on, possibly. If not, he is doing his doctorate, so he has school in the evening hours as well. So shout out to them for being an amazing support system to many of you online. But the Padlet, this reinforces what they tell you guys in class, right? So just to give you a quick snapshot of what's coming up next, we have the scholarships that are available right now. Damon John is hosting this camp at the University of Miami. They gave us scholarships for the physical camp and for the virtual side. So students that are not close to University of Miami that want to do the virtual side, you have access. I think the value is anywhere up to like $5,000 or something like that. Like, you cannot get this for free. I wish I could attend. My daughter's actually going to be attending the physical one at University of Miami with Damien John as the professor, which is a plus. She actually challenged me in the beginning about that. I don't know why. I said, it's Damien John you have access to. Get it correct. So please have your students apply. The link is on the Padlet. The link is there. We have the ID Tech camps. So when you go to the Padlet, you can pull the actual link for the students to apply, send it to them, and have them do it. If not, reach out to your Nifty rep to make sure to send you the PDF version, which is also here on this link in the Padlet. So you can get it from the Padlet, or make sure they email you something to go along with it. Daniel, if you have access to that Padlet link, just drop it in the chat for me if possible.
I did already. It's
Oh,
there.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Please. So, and also we have the ESB for all you teachers that are doing ESB certifications. Actually, Mr. Padilla actually hooked us up with some really good resources. Shout out to Mr. Padilla, having a whopping 36 out of 39 students pass the ESB exam.
Woo!
Yes,
Big
yes.
shout out to him.
Actually, it's 33 out of 39, but that's
All right, all right, all right. There we go.
That is
Great numbers.
fantastic.
Yep, big time.
Great
So
numbers.
he shared some of the resources he used to work with his students. So we'll be adding that to the Padlet. So tomorrow when you come and access the Padlet, you'll find the resources here for you guys to obtain. Ray Paris has also been putting out several different ESB videos that we're adding to the Padlet. In just a minute when we switch slides, but not yet, don't switch that on me. We'll see the next 2 videos that Ray already produced. We was doing monthly workshops. We stopped doing the workshops because only about a handful of teachers were actually attending. So we found it worth his time to actually produce a video that is student facing and teacher facing. So if you wanted to show it to the students on the activity and facilitate from that, you can, or you can watch the video and actually add your own to the actual lesson and activity. We have student and teacher support began January 11th. We opened up our virtual office hours from Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. now, where, it's open up to students and teachers. Quite a few teachers took advantage already, had their students jump on in, pitch their business, get feedback. That's what we're here for. Whether you're trying to identify what's your economics 1 unit, who's your target market, jump onto the hotline and you will have a special treat. Daniel, having access to Daniel, first and foremost, is a treat in itself. But then you have other teachers online. Carmen was online today. We have several other constituents and program partners and affiliates. So please take advantage of that. We have the competition timeline that we'll be talking about today is also on the Padlet. You scroll down in that Padlet, in that one block, you see all the due dates, links, everything that you possibly need for the competition timeline. We also have, let me move this box. We have the coaches for your class, guys. If you want coaches for your nifty class, please, you can reach out to us on the Padlet. There's a direct link, and who you need to reach out to is Victor Martinez, our volunteer specialist. He will put in the request out there to the world to see if we can get coaches. We only ask that it's at least a minimum of 2 weeks notice that he can put the word out to see if we get a bite back to get the coaches. If not, we got 5 nifty staff members that can be coaches. So whether some way, somehow, you guys are going to get access to some coaches for your students, and we'll make it happen. We also have coming up in the month of March, it's not listed here, but in the month of March, we are working on Biz Bootcamp days. So we know every district has a different week of spring break. We get it. So every Wednesday of the month of March, it's a full day. We're going to have Biz Bootcamp. So this was designed for the student that you think is going to be representing you as a teacher or your class. You have them register for that, get them an internal field trip form, have them jump onto the Biz Bootcamp, and we're going to help them finalize their idea, their plans, so they have something solid to submit for our regional competition series. So that's the Padlet in a nutshell where we at. Find things about the PLC. We're gonna have this video tomorrow on the on the Padlet for other teachers to watch if you're not here in attendance. So shout out to all the other teachers that just jumped on. We got 21 right now. Really good. Excited.
Nice.
Next slide. Any questions around the Padlet before I continue?
I don't know. I was over here writing notes when you started talking about Biz Bootcamp Day. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I have a question. Chris, I think you sent another link for a separate ballot. One is called Nifty Roadmap, and the other one's called Nifty Southeast 2021-22.
All right. So yes, you're absolutely right. So in that same Padlet, right, it's listed. I want to say I actually posted it in January. But if you scroll through it, there's actually another link to another Padlet that Ray and the LT and the Master Educators created last year. That is a Padlet strictly for the Lean business model canvas, right? The Lean canvas, it has its own Padlet to walk you through each one of the buckets. It has videos of students. It talks about competitions. It talks about, what you need for your target market. It has tons of resources there, but it's strictly for the Lean business model canvas, leading into competition season. So make sure you take a look at it, and it's located within the Padlet. In the very beginning of the year, we posted it there. So you'll see the Padlet's timeline goes from August all the way to February as of right now, but it's going to go all the way and extend to May. It's something to keep you guys on track. Thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Padilla.
So you're saying that on the NFTE Southeast 2021-22 roadmap, in there is a link to the other Padlet.
Yes. So
Which
if you
one of
literally
the boxes, can you show me which one of the boxes?
sure can.
Yeah, we'll cover it.
It's literally in the beginning of the Padlet, in the very beginning.
Teacher training
And
registration? No.
No,
Nope, it's past
it'll say
that.
Padlet Parafruit. So it'll be like the Padlet.net, whatever /Parafruit.
it's right after time to log into Canvas is the next one. Lean Canvas video roadmap.
Lean Canvas road.
Yep. It's right after time to log into Canvas on that Padlet. But what you see right here is the monthly resources that I was telling you that Ray has created. And we have the first lesson is a model target market lesson. We have the ESB Money Talks, identifying your course structure. So these are great videos that can help you with your students towards their ESB goals. We also have the ESB walkthrough that Carmen created, that she showcased last session, or actually she showcased at the last ESB session. I think she'll give you guys a quick snapshot again today for you guys can have that. It's a great document. If you're really looking for your students to walk you through, Mr. Padilla, if you haven't seen it, this is what actually been a great tool for you to use, and you can use it next year since you're already past that hump. Any questions around ESB, just out of curiosity? Anyone? Okay.
Yeah, I asked the question.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm curious because, well, my district messed up my ESB exam vouchers, so we won't talk about that. But I was going to have my E2 kids do it, but since they messed it up, I don't have my E2 kids anymore. So I was wondering, is it worth having the first class do it?
Padilla was first generation NFTE students, and
Okay.
his students passed. So it all depends on how much content can you cover within
Yeah.
the time frame that you have. That's the way I look at it. I mean, a teacher could tell you better than I can because they're living it as they're doing, especially Mr. Padilla. But that's something that I would throw out to another teacher to answer.
I feel like my year-long classes would be good, but then I have block classes that are only in the spring, and we're already under such a crunch to get everything covered.
Well, I can tell you if it's a good student, it'll take maybe 1 9-week period to study for the ESB. It took 2 9 weeks for I would say about half of my students to sit. So it's a lot of work in a way. And next year, what I intend to do is possibly integrate some nifty curriculum with the ESB. But this first year of the ESB exam, I just focus on the ESB the first half of the year. It worked out well, but it gets a little monotonous as well. So, but next year I'll try to integrate that. But I don't like information overload. I didn't want to try doing all the integration this first year on the ESB test. I wanted to have the experience on the ESB test. It's worked out for me, but maybe I can start experimenting a little bit more next year and start maybe mixing it up a little bit and making it more enjoyable and maybe more hands-on while they learn the conceptual exam, because that's all it is. It's concepts and business concepts. And a lot of these kids, they just don't really get to, they don't get excited about that stuff.
The cool factor about that is with the document that Ms. Garcia created for us that aligns with the NFTE E1, and then we have our curriculum team in the NFTE world aligning it to our started up curriculum, which is a new curriculum that none of you have probably seen. It was geared towards post-secondary education. filled in the gaps of all the missing components, right? So next school year, we'll have, I don't want to call it the NFTE ESB curriculum, but we have a curriculum that aligns itself, I want to say nearly 90% all the way through. And then with the missing gaps, we'll have some resources. So as you're teaching NFTE throughout the year, keep in mind these kids getting ESB, because ESB is business. It's about learning business concepts and different components of business. And organically, this it would instill within these students as you're teaching it. Because Mr. Padilla came on, I think it was last week, Friday, when we was exchanging resources, and he walked through the Canvas piece and he was like, wow, this is actually a perfect outline similar to what I did with the students, but is more hands-on approach than learning just the basic concepts of anything. So
And keep in mind, one of the things I'm excited about this second half of the year is to do a lot of Nifty because, as you know, the pandemic has taken a hold on all these students with their mental health, and they've lost a lot of learning gains and stuff like that. And I think that the experiential curriculum from Nifty is really overdue, and it's really badly needed inside the classes today. So keep that in mind going forward. I don't think that these. I think we're going to be in this for a little longer, but yeah, it's good to kind of rev them up. It gets old just having them get on the computer and do geometrics and learn key. But I drilled them hard this first half, and I got a lot of achievements, but a lot of kids that they just don't care about it.
And Fernando, I think one of the things that they're going to enjoy in there is when you get them into the Nifty, and because of the pandemic world that we've been in, I think that letting them be creative and being able to have whatever kind of business plan they look for, and being that it's mostly been remote and all the technology, they'll really enjoy being able to build it out.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Mm-hmm.
Can I interrupt for a moment, please?
Sure.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, because
We lost you.
We just lost you, Nikki. Oh, I think we might have actually lost Nikki, like not just sound, but everything. So maybe she'll come back. I agree. It sounds like after all of that, like getting to actually delve into the curriculum is just going to feel like a reward for them. Like, oh, this is the fun that can happen with all of this stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to see it, to hear how that turns out.
For whatever reason, I had a teacher. And
hello.
Yes, Amos.
I'm sorry, my technology went out on me. I apologize. No, I was going to make a comment about the ESB and the Learn Key. I had a lot of success as well. I tested 163 students and I had 101 to pass. So, yeah. And yes, it was labor intense. Yes, it is, but it's gratifying. And I say that because when you give the students their certificates, they take a lot of pride in that. Yeah, it's definitely a drill, and that's what I did. But again, the fruit at the end was worth it. So yeah, I too will change. I'm switching gears now. As a matter of fact, I went into Knowledge Matters for maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks with that, and then heavy into Nifty. That's my plan. But yeah, I did two quarters on it as well. I did the Learn Key, and then I did heavy geometrics with them, and there you go. They were passing.
Fantastic. So it's good to hear that the tools that we have set, to work along with Nifty are helping the students.
And it's and a lot of teachers are asking, like, how many teachers had students pass. So I was explaining to everybody that last year was more of like a pilot year and a test run. This is the full-fledged year. So we will be getting data. So if you do have like data sheets that's come out about the passing rates or whatever, you can just shoot us that via email. You could type it in or whatever. It doesn't have to be a download. If you have something that you can print out.
No, you can provide the actual data from geometrics is excellent. It breaks everything down, and I'll provide that. Anybody can do that.
Because we would love to summarize a total average across the board for the Southeast and actually put that out there at the end of the year. Be like, look, out of 3,450 students, 3,449 pass, whatever the case. That's what we're going for. We're going for 100, but I'll take one off if need be. But that's showing a solid story. And then at the same time, as your districts are applying for new EET funding with the FDOE in the state of Florida, this story will be powerful also, right? For continuation of funding and showcase how the community came together and worked together. All right, moving right along. Virtual office hours, I mentioned it earlier. This is what it looks like. Shout out to Mr. Graves from Duval County. Shout out to Haley, Ms. Schaefer's student. These are times students jumped on for feedback, teachers jumped on, and the team supported. So we offer it out to you all. The link is on the what? Padlet. So please, please, please utilize that link. Anything you need is already there that you can get to. If it's an external, if you need to get to Canvas, the link is there also. Next slide, if I have another one. I don't know. I think mine's coming again later. Oh, the roadmap. Okay.
So where are you in our path?
Yes.
Well, us are still in the very beginning.
Yep. And this right here was designed last year, based on a lot of teachers just getting started. So we thought this would be something to be a refresher again and show you guys a solid timeline to actually dive into that can walk you until competition season. So I'm going to pass it on to the gurus of the team that can help you with your pacing strategies and what's the next steps.
So again, and I know some of us are still in our first unit looking at the problems and solution, and that's part of the area we covered last session. We're going to look at part of the channels and key metrics and customer segments for this unit and starting up the business business operations and financing startups. And we will finish off next session with pitching the slide deck and the presentations. So we'll be able to clean it all up and make sure that we're ready for the April. And our next session, we'll see the dates later on, latest in March. So again, your first unit is probably in January. We're getting into February, and trust me, I'm in the same boat with my students. It's been a very slow start for my classes. So we're just finishing up really kind of like our first draft of our lean canvas, and we're starting to clean it up and see what we can use and what we need to massage around and get working. And then we'll have March, again, we'll clean up and focus on our green for St. Patrick's Day and greens for our monies and the cost structures and revenue streams of our lean canvas and see how it comes across. And then we'll be ready for our presentation for April. So I've made the deadline for my students. So we're going to shoot for March 11th as a final canvas ready, pitch deck ready, start presenting. We're going to use the 2 weeks because we have our break, I guess it's the end of March. So between March 11th through the 8th or 20 something is going to be our class pitches. And then we'll be able to vote out our person who's going to represent us. So again, looking at our canvas here, we're looking at our components. Remember that your lean canvas shows you in color what units we're in and what areas to cover. We've also done this into the notebook, and I'll show that in a little bit also. We're going to be focusing again on the key metrics, we're looking at customer segments. We're focusing on the right side of the canvas. So as Kristen mentioned before, I worked this summer on getting this organized so that every lesson that's in the E1 Canvas website, our instructor Canvas, is listed on here and made into a PDF format so that you can click on any of these pages and it would take you directly to the actual link. I showed this before. If you want to show it again, I'll have to bring it up. But I did make it where it's interactive. It's it's a huge PDF. It's like 400 pages, but it does have all of the lessons directly linked here so that you can click on any of these and it'll take you directly to that page. And you can see exactly what you need to cover and know exactly where you need to go into the canvas to be able to get there. So in order to be able to align all of our curriculum from the ESB and the Design for Delight objectives, I had to put all this together. So this is what you have here. Marisol, I don't know that it's in the Padlet, but if it isn't, we will definitely put the link there. So I think that's a great idea to have I have it as an Acrobat file, so we had to put it in the Acrobat, but I'll get it there for you. So here's a list of the concepts and objectives that we need to have for the Design Delight and for the ESB. So any of them that have been aligned to one of our lessons, as soon as you hover over it, obviously you get the little hand that gives you the link to be able to get there, and you'll be able to see the lessons directly tied to these objectives. So I still have a couple more we're going to work on. We're going to try to get it 100% there. And hopefully we'll have at least a 90% tied to one of our nifty lessons. And then the last maybe 10% will be tied to other resources that will apply to those concepts. Some of these lessons are done. Most of them I think I have found in the E1 course. There's a couple of handfuls that I got to look at the E2s. And then again, there might be one or two that we need to outreach and get some other areas to cover it. But I think you'll feel really comfortable being able to click on any of these links and be able to get right to those lessons and know where to direct the students. And I know you guys are all writing on the chat, but I can't see it at the same time. All right, so our interactive notebook, you'll be able to click on it. And yes, I got it linked, so it'll take you to it. We've added in a couple more pages. Hopefully this version has it, because I feel like I have a couple versions out there and I gotta tweak it up. I've been using this with my students. It's working out very well. My students were able to make a copy of the entire book, and I'll share here as an open page so you guys can see it. It's got different areas. It's got a course at a glance. It's got some widgets. It's got the videos, and we're able to see all of these pieces and components on here. There's a glance page. I know it's kind of small right now, but you have the full course at a glance, so you can see what has been covered on it. You're able to come in and continue with that piece, going by the actual units. On the widgets, this isn't the right version, so we're going to work on that one. We have the widgets that Nifty already has available, and we put a description with it so that you'll be able to see it. Here we have a page full of the video links taking you through each of the units and the components that were in those, so that the kids can directly use this page. Because sometimes I know it's hard to go back and try to find the videos or whatever you need off of the canvas. So we just made this page just a little easier. Here you do also have the roadmap for the students. So this is the one that takes them through the lean canvas so they can see each of the components. Or actually, I think that's the one for the teachers. I'll also put the student one in there. So alongside that, as they work into the book, you're able to see that this first chapter is called Lean Canvas. And I made this with the intentions of the students just being able to use this section to be able to use it as a massaging tool area to be able to work on their canvas and make however many versions they need of this canvas by components of each one. And you'll also see that on each of these components, if we're looking at the problem, so the problem section, I've also listed off where in the curriculum you can find the lessons that apply to this block, I'll call it. And I was just showing a sample in my classroom. And then you also have in the corners of each of these pieces, I just dropped in the actual canvas section so you can see where it is in the piece. Another a nice little feature that we have on here with any of these pages, the block here at the bottom, this is a post-it note. And this post-it note can be selected. So if I'm in the key metrics page, I can stop moving it. Sorry, guys. Once I'm in this page, I can scroll down to the bottom of the page of it. If it'll move. All right, I think I've just made myself too large. I can't get it out of here. There it goes. All right, so I can click here on the bottom. These are the post-it notes, and they can click and drag these up and obviously make them as large as they need and be able to write on here. So again, the purpose of this section was to really make it friendly for the students to be able to write and work on it, write on these pages, The nice part about it, if you are comfortable with the Google Classroom, is that you see everyone's notebook at once, and it's easy to go back and grade and see where they are in the process. And I don't necessarily put my grades in there on it, but it does make it easy to be able to just flip through all of their books and find the pages that I need to be able to grade them. So then after they come through, they've been able to use all these buttons and be able to take their Post-it notes, and you'll see that there are more than one Post-it notes down there. I did put quite a few of them. Paste it in. Of course, they can enlarge these all as much as they want. They're able to come in and take the final piece of each of those and put it on their final lean canvas. So again, this is my first section for them to start working on, to be able to build all their pieces, and then we can review their final piece. From there, we're gonna paste in the competitive events that Chris has now posted for us. So I will post in the page here so that you have all of the information that's currently happening for this year. And again, this is the nice area for the kids to have everything in one spot and not lose their information. We had a page from the World Series from this fall with this unit because we're going into the competitive mode. I've also put in a template for the pitch deck, and it has a different formats, whether they want it in PowerPoint or the Google Slides or Office 365, the page they need for their executive summary, and then crafting their pitch worksheet so they can start working on their elevator pitch. Again, here's just an extra page. These pages are also at the bottom. So if they scroll to the very back of the book, I've put in a series of pages, whether they want lined or grid or just a blank copy or with the dots. So these are just a section called extra pages, so they can copy and paste those and place them anywhere in the book as they need to. So I was up to the pitch deck. So now we've also created a section for the ESB. So for those testing with the ESB, they'll be able to come in and have a section where they can see all the information. And I will hopefully have all of Mr. Padilla's information also in here so that they will have true knowledge of some practices, right? And of course, as teachers, you also have this. So we've come in and we've added in a page already with links that I have from Ray. Some of these might be from Padilla, I'm not sure yet, but we also have some practice exams in the back. So you can have a lot of good resources right here, along with if you use the geometrics and the Learn Key to be able to set up our students to be successful. And that's the section for ESB. So then I've come in and I've also created a section for the Design for Delight. And again, it's going through the same process, giving the students an idea of what is that we're covering and why we're covering it, what are the principles that we need to cover into it, and then taking them slide by slide through their pieces and preparing for the Design for Delight. Looking at the design thinking process, and it goes slide by slide, covering in each of the sections. So it's 5 steps of human-centered design thinking, coming into their finals. And hopefully I'll have some more information from Daniel to be able to add into this section. Because you've been our guru, right, for the Design for Delight?
Yes, ma'am. Is charged.
Awesome.
Denise and Daniel actually both are NFTE Southeast certified in D for D. So shout out.
Awesome.
And the 2 Ds. Look, hold on. Oh my God. Denise and Daniel and D for D.
For Design for Delight.
Look at that.
D&D for D&D.
The wordplay, it's wonderful. I love it.
All right, so then we're gonna have a section for regional. So anything that's going on in your region can be added in, whether it's a summer camp or scholarships or internships, anything that could be, again, given for the regions. I made a section for that. Then you also have a section for nationals. So put in a couple pages there. And then the area that I've been working with the most right now is my final product one. So with the final product, I put in the links again here, but I also made, and I must have put in the wrong copy, but I will fix that tonight. I put in the extra pages from here to be able to have a page for the logo and slogan, another page for the executive summary, another page for the, what we talked about, for the lean canvas, a page for their slide deck, a page for each of those components that we want for them to have for the actual final, prepping them for the competition. So there'll be a couple extra pages put into here. And I'm not sure what I have on the warm-ups, but again, we still have another section or two. So if you wanted to add more into it, you could make your own version in here. So again, I see Marisol, you asked for the access for it. I'll make sure that I get the link up on our Padlet so that everyone has access to it. And then what you have to go through the process is you just hit file, make your own copy, hit entire presentation, and then share that entire presentation with your students and have them do the same thing. They click on file, make a copy. My students add their name in the front, so I know last name first, whose book I have, and that's how I manage it in my classroom. And it's worked out very well. So let me ask, you're very welcome. Give me a second if I can go to the actual notebook. I will show you how I made the links to Nifty. I'm going to show you the links for the book. All right, so here's the actual Nifty book with all of our lessons. I'm just going to scroll quickly, but I'll go back slowly again. I've gone through and actually added in all the lessons. So you can see there's 714 pages, right? So every single lesson is in here in order, straight from our teacher hub. So if you're looking at the first 2 pages,
and guys,
you have all of them here.
The link to this is in the Padlet underneath ESB Workshop Recap 1 of 7. So you'll find the link to this actual alignment doc in the Padlet underneath ESB Workshop Recap 1 through 7. 1 of 7.
There you go. So again, on any of these, if you just click the word, I hit clicked on picture this, it's taking me to that lesson. And I can see exactly what I need to do for that lesson. So I've done it in kind of 2 ways. You can do it by the lesson, and or if you want to do it by the standard, I just come back up to the list. You're going to look at page 3 and 4. So here on page 3, I have the ESB, and page 4 is the Design for Delight, or maybe page 5. Yeah, page 4. So on any of these, if I come in and I hover over the standard and I click on it, it's going to take me to the lesson that covers that. So everything is tied across the board. So with some of them, again, I may have some lessons that are not active yet, and that's because I haven't tied the actual lesson to it. But you do have a majority of them, and I'm going to sit down with Denise because I know she's covered through her other course, the curriculum that I was missing on this one. So hopefully in the next week or so, I'll have even more of them hyperlinked and available to you. The same way you can do it here for the ESB, you can also do it for the Design for Delight. So anything that's active, obviously you get the little hand, so you can hover over it, click on it, and it took me down to the lesson that's covering it.
Guys, this is where the community comes together. Carmen saw the need, Padilla saw a need. A lot of you see needs and create resources. It's critical you share out, like let us know what's working. Sometimes Nifty, we do have it in the budget to give you a few bucks to have you design and create things that we can share with all of our teachers. So at the end of the day, you know, it's critical. If you have some great resources to help a teacher's job be that much more easier, please let us know, because we all about not making a teacher work harder, but smarter at the end of the day, based on resources that exist and that we can all use collectively. So please begin to share out.
Sorry.
No.
I saw a question on here saying something to make it active or download it. Did someone get that question?
Yeah, it looks like Denise has already addressed it. Oh, sorry, Denise.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
She was on it.
Okay, awesome. I'm just seeing it as like flipping in the bottom corners. I just want to make sure we didn't ignore the case. So any questions about the notebook?
I personally have a comment, Carmen. I love it. I think having a one-stop shop for students like this, and the students can keep track of their work, have quick links, to a lot of videos. Yes, don't get me wrong, our Canvas does that, right? Our Canvas has a lot of this in place for the students, but a lot of the teachers are using other Canvases, other it could be Schoology, other platforms that the quick links no longer are like our Canvas. So this replaces that hands down. I love it. You have everything from down to the PowerPoint templates, the executive summaries. I mean, there's nothing on here that the students can't use. And Meg, I know you're still on. I see your name listed in the list there, and it can be tailored to a different region. So you can insert your dates for your region. You can insert information that pertains to your region. I think it's a great tool that a teacher took advantage of and created for their class to make their job easier. So appreciate you, Carmen, for that.
And again, look at this pieces, and you're very welcome. Even with the link here, it does take them to Canvas. So they'll get the page that they need to have. So they have to download that piece, and then they can actually put a screenshot in here. So I still made it where they have to have everything available, whether they want to use I use OneDrive in our school. But my students are liking the Google Drive too. So I'm okay with that, as long as they put links into this notebook so I don't have to go searching for it. So again, it all depends on how you want to set it up for your classroom. We keep all of our documents in OneDrive, but we've been putting links into the Google because it makes it easy to access quickly.
Excellent.
So back to our drive. All right, so that was our interactive notebook.
A real quick shout out. I have to do this, sorry. Miss Tapia, big shout out to Miss Tapia, our year one Nifty teacher, has been doing a fabulous job year one. Like hands down, like I'm excited to see her online here, and she's doing an amazing job with her students. She is really gung-ho about Nifty and is making sure her students get everything they need. So shout out to you.
All right, so competitive events. You want to take this
All
one,
right.
Chris?
Yeah. So competition timeline. I know there's a lot of information here. It is on the Padlet, guys. Once again, it's on the Padlet. Please make sure you visit the Padlet to find out all the details. So April 11th is the submission deadline, guys, for your class representative. Every class should have one representative that's going to represent the class in submission to our Nifty platform on Reviewer. We don't have the link ready. It's almost ready. In another week or so, it'll be ready. We know teachers that are semester-based that completed classes already. Please hold on to your Nifty student entries so you can submit on their behalf or connect with that student once the link is available. Students will be presenting and uploading a 7-minute picture video link. Once they upload their video on YouTube, they then copy that link and it's part of the application process. 7 minutes or less. Then they can use Zoom, hit record, they recite their business plan, they hit submit. That's the easy way. I've seen some teachers get creative and get the video production team involved from the school with a green screen. The kids are walking in and out of images. It blew me away. Don't get me wrong. We tell the judges not to look at that stuff, but sometimes it tricks your brain, right? Like you see these kids walking through slides and stuff like that, blows you away. And you're like, you know what? These kids got it. They need to move to the next phase. So if you have a video production team, get with them now, schedule some time for either beginning of April, end of March, and make it happen. But all in all, a simple video from Zoom works. Their lean canvas, completed PowerPoint, and executive summary. Those are the deliverables that we were asking, requesting for competition submissions. Now, we have tripled in size since last year. Originally, it's always been $100 for your classroom and they move forward. But we have over 350 teachers, right? Each one of those teachers have a minimum of probably 2 classes. Do the math on submissions, over 600. So it's like a quarterfinals for the quarterfinals, where all your top students submit, then is the top 100 for 100. So each one of the top 100 students will receive $100 gift card. And if they advance to the semifinals, they get another whopping $50. So that's $150 just because they move forward. Now, do we anticipate 600 and some odd businesses in a perfect world? I would love it. But we think we're probably going to get anywhere between 200 and 150 plants So we do have to narrow it down to the top 100 for 100. The dates are April 13th, the top 100 business will be announced. April 14th through the 21st, judging begins with all those videos, looking at the executive summaries and everything else. That's another round of judging to narrow it down for the top semifinalists who will be announced on April 22nd. And then April 25th through the 28th, virtual semifinal competitions begin that week. That's the week of live, online, virtual semifinal competitions. So majority of you will all have a student, or if not all of you, because like I said, it's a top 100 for 100. So we're going to try to make sure it's an even playing field all the way across the board for our teachers in the different districts. With that said and done, they're going to be during the day, anywhere between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. We do know there's AP exams taking place. We get it. And if your student is one of those students that made it to the semi-live final round virtually, we will try to figure out, we could do one of two things. We've done it in the past where the school is able to make an exception for that student to do the retake directly after school, or we made an exception where we use the video for the student to present. At that time, the student could use the one that they submitted or recreate one for the semifinal competition. And if they could probably be there for questions and answers, great. If not, no worries. The judges would then score them accordingly based on the other presentations in their round. So no worries on that. After that, we will identify May 6th. We'll be talking about all the finalists that have made it to the next round, which will be regional competitions. Now, automatically North Carolina will be going automatically to New York. So no regional finals needed for you guys. You got your winner. So this year, Denise is going to be connecting with you guys. You guys have your own regional competition, literally for North Carolina. So automatically North Carolina moves to New York. Atlanta has their own regional competition. Automatically one of their students moves to New York. The state of Florida now battles it out for the top. Is going to be a total of top 10 representatives going to New York, but we also have an extended round competition, which is our regional finals for the state of Florida reps. So the top 6 students will be presenting at the regional competition at Nova on May 12th. And the winner, everybody gets the same amount of dollar across the board, including North Carolina, Atlanta, who will be advanced to New York. But in Atlanta, they have an additional award, the EY award, which is $1,000. And in the state of Florida, EY also brings a Young Entrepreneur Award of $1,000 to the winner here at a local level. So as we grow in other regional areas, we'll get the EY offices there to get involved for the Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award as well. But right now is Atlanta and the state of Florida. So shout out to all of you guys and good luck, best of luck. Take advantage of the biz boot camps, coaches, all of the above that we're offering. The ball is in your court. Let's play basketball. And once again, like I said, May 12th is going to be the regional competition at Nova. Right now we're debating, and I would love to get some feedback on this. Nova Southeastern University, we're looking at a lunch event or evening event. Your call, let us know, what do you think would work best? We heard from Broward that a morning luncheon would work probably better versus the evening session. But out of curiosity, I would love to hear some feedback from teachers if you could provide that on what you think would work best. Ms. Warren said morning lunch. I'm with you on it. I was thinking about local individuals, the traffic going to Nova, what that would look like trying to get there. Any other feedback? We have.
And actually, I was just looking at the AP test because you're right. Some of these kids are going to be stuck with the AP exams.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who want to kind of get an idea with your students, that Thursday, May 12th, the morning sessions of the AP exams is the French language and world history modern, and the afternoon is physics 1, algebra based.
And that's Miami-Dade?
That's the AP.
AP is standard all the way across the board in different regions as well?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Got it.
So that applies to everyone. So yeah, we kind of can pick out our kids and make sure that's
very nice.
If one of them happens to land on that, then we can go ahead and start
on
preparing
May 12th,
now.
Or are you talking about April, the week of the April 25th through?
April the 12th.
Really? Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
And this-
AP goes on for quite a while. Takes a few weeks.
AP is the full first 2 weeks of May.
Mhm.
It takes the full 2 weeks.
Okay. And ideally, this is once again, it's like about 5 businesses, and I'm sure and I hope they are all part of that AP process. But
Just not that test.
yeah, and with our luck, we've had that happen in the past, right? We've been there, done that. So we have to make a decision by Friday. So right now it's like morning or evenings, trying to figure it out. We'll battle it. And if it's evening, it's 6 to 8:30 kind of session. Right now, for any students that are not like in Broward or West Palm Beach or Miami, that would be a part of that list. We are looking to figure out, like, at least we can cover like room and board. We are partnering with Nova Southeastern University. We have a meeting Monday next week, or Tuesday rather, and we are going to pitch that if we can get some of their students in the master's programs dorms, which are like housing, real houses and apartments, and they can, because everybody's off campus by the time of the competition. So if they can donate the space, we have free room and board for outside guests. If not, we can figure out. We could probably cover one room on the Nifty budget, and if a teacher wants to come, they will have to cover their room. The room will be for the student chaperone and student. But that's just right now. We're still working those logistics out. So I just want to throw that out there. Any questions around competition and that Padlet you seen there? That's the roadmap for the Lean Canvas, by the way.
Yes.
And we'll put this. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we'll put a copy of the slides that we used tonight on the Padlet, so you guys can download that on the recap also, along with the other resources.
And I was just going to throw in, Carmen, it looks like there's a question in the chat that you may want to address from Julie.
Yeah, that's me. Can you guys hear me? And I apologize
Yes.
for bringing you back to that workbook. Hey, this is the best on seminars, and I absolutely love the workshops and this opportunity to get information from you. Chris, thank you so much, and everybody. I had a quick question because I got my download of the workbook, and I was in there just trying to kind of scout around on the lesson plans, but I don't understand how to get to actually the resources that students would use. And I have them using OneDrive, and I also have them doing stuff in Canvas. So I just didn't know, how do I get to, for instance, the actual pre-survey analysis, because I have new students that just turned over. So for this semester, I wanted to have them using your stuff. The EMI pre-survey analysis or something, right? One of them. How do I get from a lesson plan to actually the resources that students could use? That's my only problem.
Carmen, I'll let you answer that, because we was just talking about that thing yesterday. So
Yeah, so the pre-analysis is actually in the Canvas. So you have to have the students log into the Canvas under your account. So if you want, we can have another session one-on-one, and I can walk you through it. Because there's an actual space, and I can't put that on our page, because if I put my link, it links them all to mine. Because each teacher has an individual personalized number. So I've got to teach you how to get to yours so that you can share that number with your students.
Okay, and I know when I did an awesome training that one of your people did in July. And the other thing that came up in it was with Pinellas, we didn't have like the same access, like on some of the links, we couldn't access it as well, even though then they had like a demo of us to see. So I don't know if that's changed either. So can we cover that on the one-on-one too?
Sure.
yeah, so just to throw this out there, Carmen, Julie, they have our Nifty curriculum on their Canvas at the end of the day, which it does look like ours now, but there was some, like, I guess it was the digital materials, Daniel, if I'm not mistaken, the digital lessons were not active right on their Canvas. It's only active on our side.
No, you are in one of the districts with an integrated, where it's integrated into your Canvas. You're a Canvas-based district, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Course Arc. Course Arc has to have the Course Arc is the application that facilitates the digital lessons. When it gets integrated into your Canvas, The code for it doesn't transport over. So we have a specific code for when it's on the Nifty side, and when you integrate it into yours, the code doesn't port over. Depending on your district, we do have a list of the codes. And once you plug the code in and make sure there's no extra spaces with the passkey, it's been shown to work for all of the districts we've had that issue with. We've done it 3 different districts now, and that has been the fix. So if there's a digital lesson, that's what's been fixing it. Definitely, if you want to hang out a little bit afterwards, we can do it one-on-one, or we can do it tomorrow on the virtual office hours, whichever works best for your timetable.
I can definitely hang out. I'm on my desktop, which doesn't have the video camera, so I don't know if that matters to you, but yeah, I can absolutely do it.
If you can share your screen and you can see us, that's all we need.
Okay, thanks.
Excellent. The power of the support, guys. This is what we do in the Nifty world. Some way, somehow, somebody, whether it's a teacher, staff member, even the CEO. So JD, you hear us? You got to roll your sleeves up and you're going to dive in the trenches with us. And that's the kind of person he is, though. You guys all got to meet JD one day, by the way. Just throwing that out there. He dives in the trenches.
All right, so I'd like to move on. And again, I just wanted to remind you guys, we wanted to leave this here just to refresh us, because I know we're all really bombarded with too many tools and too many things going on at once.
Tools.
But this is why we have the tech tools, and it'll help to, I just sometimes have to need it in my face to remind myself a lot of things we can use. I love the mural because it's very interactive, it's live, kids can be responding immediately. My students have gotten really into the Tinkercad so that we design our products, and it's a very simple CAD program, all web-based, so it doesn't matter whether you're on Macs or PC, it'll work. The text graffiti they love because they get into being able to create their own designs. The booklet's great. Kahoot has been awesome. I love the Screencastify and the Castomatic for creating our videos. Flipgrids for quick 1-minute pitches. So again, you have a bunch of tools you can use. Just wanted to remind you about those.
And we're actually getting other ones like in the chat here, Booklet. We'll have to check that one out as well and see if that's something we need to add to the list. So it's like
on steroids, okay?
On steroids. So yeah.
So with Booklet, the students it's up on the screen and there's a bunch of different games that you can do. So you put in, and some people have already put in questions for Nifty. An ESB exam review is on there. And it's really cool because there's different games. So there's one where there's gold and they answer a question right, and then they get to pick a chest, and it either gives them gold, takes away, or they can steal from their friends, and it puts it up on the main screen, and they start yelling at each other in class. And then there's another one where you have to fulfill orders, but you can't fulfill the orders unless you answer the questions correctly. The kids really get into it. They really love it. So
I wish I had my horn, but I'm gonna do it manually. Burr, 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 resource.
And on the next page is actually the links to all of this. Am I muted? No,
yes.
I'm not. Yes, so we didn't just give you a list. We actually got the links to all of this stuff on there. And in the chat here, someone even threw out can we do some seminars on some of these apps and just how to use them? And I've just asked, listen, we have an evaluation coming at the end of each one of these sessions. Throw that stuff in there for us, so that we know what you want from us. Nifty, we need you to tell us what you want to know about so we can design training that you want to participate in. So that's coming up. We'll get you that link at the end. So all these ideas that y'all have, can we go over this, go over that, throw them at us so we can get you what you need.
And guys, one of the things we are thinking about, we've been told, this is a local thing, it's not really a Nifty national thing, but it could be a national thing. Right now they're doing it with Nifty staff. We have these LinkedIn series workshops, right, that we're doing. And we figured that we could also add 2 LinkedIn workshop series from Nifty, powered by Nifty. So the more you ask for certain things, we can add those to a LinkedIn Nifty school over the course of the year. So you can literally go in and just click on like, all right, I want to attend this session because I need this. I already know this. I don't need this. I need that. And you can map out your year with our Nifty U Extended University, we probably can call it, right? Because Nifty U is when you first get certified, but the Nifty U Extended University with all these cool courses that could be led by Nifty teachers. We can incentivize teachers for leading these sessions. It'll be a win-win situation for you guys, whether there's 20 teachers on, 2 teachers on, it's something that is meaningful that teachers are requesting. So if you don't request it, we don't know. So it's critical that you request it. And if you think an adjustment should be made to the curriculum, we got Jeff Silverman. I don't know if he's on, but Jeff always raises his voice on what needs to be changed and how it needs to be changed. And believe you me, the curriculum team has not changed everything that he requested, but has made some slight changes based on other voices being, saying the same exact thing. So just throwing that out there.
It's a good plug. Thank you.
Like,
We're ready for the next.
we're going to Lean Canvas.
Yes. So this is where we got into, and a lot of this information you guys will actually find in your notebook. But we wanted to talk a little bit through like the unique value proposition. I'm going to just have to make this bigger because I'm trying to look at what's coming up and then what's on the screen. So I secretly have the whole presentation over here on the other side, but I can't see what's on the screen. But in that notebook, if you guys have not downloaded it yet, Carmen and I actually went through and put the list of bare minimum. If you do these, you'll be able to get through lessons for all of the sessions. But in particular, we have the UVP, unfair advantage, channels, and customer segment that we wanted to talk about because they align with where you should be working on the roadmap to regionals, nationals. What did we end up calling it?
Competitions.
There you go, to competitions. That's
I'm in
coming.
business.
Yeah. Do we have the list? Are we going back into the book to show?
I could. All right, so we're
UVP?
Yep.
Yes. So if you look under each one of these, so we may not go through all of them, but we do want you to know like where to find them. Like the ideation and sources, you see how we have Unit 4, week 22. They went ahead and said it. It was something that I was going to discuss. Once I went through the trouble of linking everything and it all worked beautifully, and you clicked on it and it worked. And then like Ray and Carmen went to look at the same thing and it wouldn't work for them because it was going to my Canvas and not theirs. So that's how we figured out that we couldn't link it for you so that it went directly, but we did tell you exactly where to find it. You go directly to Unit 2, week 7, and the lesson on ideation and sources of opportunity is what you'll need. And one of the lessons that you'll need for, I think we're under UVP, for coming up with your unique value proposition and evaluating opportunities and lean market research. Oh, we needed to talk. I feel like Carmen and I will start talking like other people aren't on the call, so just be with us. We were just going to talk a little bit about kind of what these things were. So your UV, and I always go through this, UVP, your unique value proposition, is basically that statement, because I know in the comments, somebody was like, can I use this one versus this one? North Carolina doesn't do ESB, so I couldn't climb in, I couldn't jump in and answer that question for you. So I didn't, but I hope that someone that actually does ESB would actually be able to join in and see if you could use a different a different Canvas model for yours. But for unique value proposition, it's that single statement. What's that statement that you want to put out to the world that when they hear this, they know, oh, this is I can believe this about this company, that quality statement. All of our people are background tested. We've heard these statements before and might didn't even realize that they were unique value propositions. And I still contest like a lot of that information, like between unfair advantage and UVP, those two really kind of work together to come up with that unique value proposition. One of the tools that Daniel trained me on, and I still use it, Daniel, was like the dog walking from the tile matching game. And one of the things in the unique value proposition was, hey, all of our walkers, we've done background checks on them. And so you would put things like that in that statement that make people feel comfortable with your company. Questions? I can move to the next one. Unfair advantage, and you'll see the list under each one of these about where the lessons are. These are like, if I get these done, my kids will be able to get through. NFTE has way more resources than you need. Just know that it's a great situation to be in, because you may look at it and say, I don't want to do this, but we don't have the time. Don't worry. NFTE's got something else that you can use to get this information into your students. But unfair advantage, I always feel like goes really, really closely with the unique value proposition, or UVP, because I don't know how many more times I can actually say unique value proposition without getting tongue-tied. So we're going to go to UVP. They tie in together very closely for me. Carmen, if I'm thinking about this the wrong way, you let me know. But for me, they tie really closely together, because once you understand what your unfair advantage is, that's what you need to sell in your UVP statement. Am I on track? Have I lost anybody? You still with Carmen? Y'all agree? Yay! I'm gonna do some really brief, high level. This is what this stuff is. Why are you better than everybody else? What does NFTE stuff say? What's your special sauce? Do they still have that slide? The special sauce slide? See, I'm here seeing head nods. They don't have it anymore, but it used to be the special sauce slide, okay? Where you got to talk about what your unfair advantage was, what makes you better than the competition. All right, the next one we were gonna go through was channels. Can you start? There we go. There's actually like two different takes on this, because there's the marketing channels and how you go, which I go through the whole marketing mix. And I think Carmen put a post in there, a comment. I can't see them all because I got big, so now I can't see all the comments. I make my screen widescreen. This is where you look at like, how do I let my customers know that my product is out there? And how do I get my product distributed? Like when you start talking about your, oh my God, the word fell out of my mouth. It like fell out of my brain.
Distribution?
Thank you, like supply, yes, thank you. Thank you. Your distribution channel, thank you. How you would manage your distribution channel. So there's really two sides to this one. How do you get it to the store? And then how do your customers know it's out there so they can go buy it? Those are really like the two sides of the channels. And then the last one should be scrolled right down. Was it customer segment? It did customer segment. Back a minute.
No, it's customer segment.
It is
That'll leave us
customer segment.
Yep, because that'll leave us the
right.
cost and the revenue for the next session.
Customer segment, which guys, I am doing with my students right now. And the fact of the matter is, you can't design a product for a customer if you don't know who they are. You'll never know how to market to them if you don't know that this customer likes to spend time in the gym. Great, that means that I should buy advertising time on Peloton. You know, if you spend the time to get to know who your customer is, you'll know how to reach them, you'll know how to market to them, you'll know how to design for them. I'm doing this with my students as we speak. Chris and Daniel, they're doing empathy maps. They were due today on their customers because they're getting ready to go into, I flip my order around. I make them do that, and then they're going to go into their solution. and what they're going to do for them. That was a really quick overview. Carmen, am I missing anything? I know we said we weren't going to spend a ton of time, because if you download the notebook, the lessons are there, but some people are just new and haven't done this before and may just be wondering, what is this section? Anybody else from the staff feel all right about where we are?
Well, I want to ask teachers, do you guys feel good about where we are?
Yes.
I'm not worried about Chris and Dan teaching this.
This is true. Daniel taught me. He knows it. Well, I'm making sure I'm not missing anything. All right, good. We are going to move on.
So we
and
are,
again, y'all see how this notebook just keeps coming back and keeps working for us and working for us. Okay. It is now
tea time.
It is culturally responsive tea time. Will you click to the next channel? Wow, where am I? We watched this video the last time, and I want to watch this again. One, as a refresher. Two, some people weren't in the last session and are going to be able to get some stuff from this as we move through the rest of this, okay? Carmen, will you hit play? It's only just like, it's under 3 minutes, guys. You'll live.
Can you hear it?
No. You need me to share?
I'm going to share again and make sure my sound is on.
Okay.
Of teaching.
Got it now?
How can teachers create a more inclusive environment? First off, teachers should get to know their students. This means knowing more about them than their academic strengths and weaknesses, but getting to know them on a personal level. Next, have high academic expectations for all students. Too often, teachers for some reason believe that ESL students aren't capable of learning because of their language barrier. This does a disservice to them. Provide opportunities for these students to speak English. The more opportunities and practice students have to speak English, the better they will become in speaking English. Encourage students to try their best in speaking. Display some of your students' culture in the classroom. For example, if you teach a classroom with mostly African American students, have up some posters of individuals such as Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks. Continuing, incorporate visuals into your lessons. Communication can get distorted between various cultures. However, there can be no confusion when everyone in the classroom is viewing the same thing. Incorporate a multicultural curriculum. This includes teaching from a curriculum that represents the cultural history of the students, and it highlights the most effective teaching methods. Hear your students' stories. Provide assignments such as culture studies, where students can talk about their cultures and about themselves to the entire classroom. Next, work to build relationships with parents of your students. The research is out there. Parents of ESL students are not as involved as typical parents. And the last strategy, which is often overlooked, is to get your students' names right. That means being able to pronounce their names, because when you mispronounce their names, they get the feeling that you don't actually care about them. Right now, I would like to say thank you for your time, subscribe to this channel, and like and share this video as well. See you again very soon. Hello and welcome to Teachings in Education.
Oh, we can stop it. It kept going. All right, guys. So it's time for CRT time. If y'all hadn't noticed, I've been drinking out of my fantastic Wonder Woman mug the entire time. I want you guys to start having a cup of tea with me during these sessions so we could talk about culturally responsive teaching. This is something that was huge for NFTE. There should be a video. If you go back to the video from our last session, where I actually made available and showed you where to find the resources for that NFTE has available for you for the culturally responsive learning. It is in the Teacher Hub in Canvas, and it is so impressive. It literally has, here is the lesson, Here's what it's intended to teach. These are the areas that you could make adjustments for your students. These are some other options available. So there is no reason that we can't have more culturally responsive teaching for our students. Also, in our last session, the first time we had tea time, everyone on the Zoom actually set a goal for themselves based on one of the ones that they saw in the video. And like for me, mine was to actually, I would say there's a box. Mine was to actually start putting up more pictures in my classroom that look like my students. Like at this point, I don't really have any pictures up in my room. Some people, one of these days I'm gonna put up pictures in my classroom. It's like a showcase, like it's people come in to see it. So there's not really pictures of anyone, of any people in the room, but I would love to start having pictures up so that my students can see people that look like them in their class. Do I have anybody on the call right now that participated last time and has their goal or remembers what their goal was? No one remembers? Everybody here knew? That is fantastic. I'm about to put something in the chat and you're going to create a goal, okay? Hold on one second. There we go. I just dropped a file into the chat and it's exactly what you're looking at right here. And I want us to set some goals around what are just one thing in your class that you could do to make the environment more culturally responsive for your students. Now, under CRT goal number 1, the domain, I think for everybody should probably be NFTE's flexibility and adaptability, because that is what culturally responsive teaching is about. Now, I put a sample goal underneath. I plan to improve CRT in my classroom by the next PLC meeting. By completing the following action. I didn't actually complete it for you, but I did give you a prompt. What is something that you think you could do in your class to improve culturally responsive teaching for your students? If you guys, you can either unmute. I would love for some people to throw some of their ideas into the chat. Something that you could go back before we meet. When is our next meeting? Do we know, Carmen? Chris? March sometime, I believe. Before March, that you can say, yeah, I'm gonna do this for my students. Because at our next meeting, I want you to have a cup of tea with me and talk about where you are versus your goal. I'm gonna tell on myself, I'm not doing great against my goal. I said I wanted to put up more pictures. Carmen, I haven't done it.
And also do little things along the way.
I'm there with you.
Talk to us, Denise. What things along, any other ideas for things along?
I mean, part of getting to know your students is understanding where they come from and helping them understand that, you know, where they come from is not necessarily where they're always going to be for some situations. My first year of teaching, I had my mother contribute to our teacher fund. and I bought like a huge map that I had the janitor put up on the wall. It was like this huge map, and I had each kid tell me, like, where's your family from? Where are you from? Do you see everything else out there? Like trying to get a perspective of, you know, where they're coming from. Or even things like, you know, within the curriculum itself, there are opportunities for you to do that. The first lesson about, you know, what does it take to be an entrepreneur and learning all the EMI, and then we show them entrepreneurs that are out there, have them research an entrepreneur from their own culture, like, you know, pull things like that into the curriculum so that they get an understanding that, you know, not every entrepreneur is the rich white man out there, you know? So just little things like that along the way will help as well.
That is fantastic. I love that idea of having them research someone from their culture. And I know for some of us, we may feel like, okay, that's a lot right now. I'm in the middle of doing something, or we may have passed that lesson already. But what would it take for you in your PowerPoint to change the picture of the area? There may be a picture of New York, but what would it take for you, of Central Park? What would it take for you to get a picture of the neighborhood park, the one that the kids go to, and swap that picture out? That is the type of thing that NFTE has in their CRT guide about ways that you can just make the curriculum more identifiable to our students. There are some, hey, let's go ahead and have them do the research. And then there's like, let me switch this picture. I got a raised hand, come on.
Hi, the school I teach is predominantly, I have out of the 60 students I currently teach, one is white and the rest are either Hispanic or African American. So being a Puerto Rican, we are a mixture of races. Our ancestors were white, African Americans, and Native Indians from the island. Okay, that's what a Puerto Rican is. And so I always try to make them understand that it's important to know where you come from. Like during one of the weeks that we were doing celebrations, I posted all the pictures of the white people, of the, the people that came from Spain, because we were colonized by Spain. And we went over that. I also tried to share my story with them. I was a single mother of a 4-year child. By the age of 27, I was divorced and I had not finished college. So I tried to share with them the fact that by all statistics, I should have been on food stamps, and I should have been, I should have never finished college, and I should just be going through the motions. And however, I told them I never lived on welfare. I never got food stamps. I worked full time. I went to school part-time, and it took me 10 years to finish my bachelor's degree, but I did it. And now at 53, I recently finished my master's. So I always try to tell them, and I also have a lot of problems, physical problems. I only have a portion of the use of my left arm. So I always try to tell them that if I could do something without all those obstacles in my life, that there is no reason that they cannot do it. And whatever I need to do to help them, I am there for them. And they do come to me. Now, I do love the idea of having them research other people that look like them, that are successful entrepreneurs. And I'm definitely going to do that and put up more pictures. But I always open up with my story so they can tell me their story, because if they see you're human, they know that you're receptive to listening to them. And I always tell them the only reason I share this is because I want you to know that you can achieve success. And I am here to help you achieve that success.
That is anybody else so impressed by her right now? Like, oh my goodness, thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, with us, if I were a student in your class, I think my mouth would have been on the floor. Like that is
interesting because I share my story like that too. And it took me 8 years to get my bachelor's because of learning disabilities in my readings levels. And I'm always there's always ways around it. School is like a game. You just got to learn how to play it to do what you need to do. And you can be very successful. And I love the idea of the researching. And I was thinking of how I could apply it in mine. And I'm thinking I'm going to use it as an assignment. So everyone has to look one up, but then have the students be able to read the other students' work as a bell ringer. So that way they can take 5 minutes at the beginning of class and read about these other individuals and see people that are similar to them and that they could be successful in these areas also.
These are some amazing ideas. Okay, I want to know now, like, then what's the next step? What would you put on your goal? Like, well, okay, your next goal, you've told them about how you have overcome. What's going to be that thing that you're going to do to just push them a little bit further to empower them a little bit more that you can come back and tell us about by the next meeting? Does anybody have an idea? I heard some people actually already saying like, oh, I think I want to do, Denise just came through here. I think everybody's going to be doing that idea, to be honest with you. See, Marisol said the research and then having them present on it. Yeah, I should see that, like, put that on your list. This is what my goal is. So that the next time, and what you're looking at is what I use with my students when they have to go keep track of their goals. I have them set goals at the beginning of the year, and then periodically they go in and have to say where they are. They'll put an image, they'll do a video. Like I said, I've done videos saying, yeah, I'm not there. I haven't gotten where I need to be. But it's about progress. It's about having those discussions as you get there. I think too often we lose sight because we have a beginning point and we have an ending point, and we never talk about that journey to encourage you to stay on that journey. And that is what this is about. Oh, I also have, let's see, I have pictures of my students. I'm hearing that people, I'm seeing things like people have I Heart Visual posters in their classes so that people can identify with like people that inspire them, pictures of students, on the door as they conduct different activities. Ooh, quick write-up on a cause. Now I like that, a cause that they care about, because that is a part of a person's identity. And I think that one is a really, you know what it makes me think about, like New Monument. Daniel, there's not anything Daniel taught me that I don't use. So just know that. Nifty has a great, that one would be.
The New Holiday. I love the New Holiday. Mine never gets voted on though.
I never did New Holiday. New Holiday would be awesome. I still use New Monument though, to this day, where the students get to decide, they get to decide who doesn't have a monument and should have one. Again, a nifty project that is, and I've used several times with my students, and you would be surprised who they have respect for and why. So, see somebody else, the New Monument idea, it's in the nifty canvas. I do not know which week and which unit and which week, but it's in there and it is awesome. And I love the variation on the New Holiday. I hadn't done that. Now in the end, like, yeah, you're supposed to vote and figure out which one should be the next one. I just have everybody present because everybody gets the opportunity to learn something about a group of people or a particular person that no one really knew about before. So that is a great one that you can do. I'm actually planning to do it at the end of this year, after my students finish their actual final projects, because I plan to do it early that time at the end of the year. Let them have some fun and do New Monument. Ooh, diversity bingo. Never heard of it. Gonna need it. Gonna need to find out about it. You might need to send that one to us. I'm loving these ideas. So like, when was the last time you played diversity bingo? Julie. Yeah, I'm gonna put my email address in here so she can send it to me. When was the last time you played that? Because that might be what you need to do between now and I keep wanting to say May, but it's the March meeting. Between now and the March meeting. That may be the thing that you need to put on your list. This is the activity that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make sure that my kids play this and see how they respond. Did it go well? Did it not? I would tweak this about it. I want us to talk about the journey. Okay. Hopefully, if you didn't have ideas, you've got some things in your brain now that you can use. Nifty has resources out there for you that you can use, even how to use their existing stuff, how to change their existing stuff. New Monument, I've done it several times and I absolutely love it. Gonna try New Holiday, love that one. Ideas, guys. I am done with tea time. Next time, y'all are actually gonna come and give me ideas though. I wanna know, oh, your audio isn't working. That's okay. That's why Julie couldn't respond back to us, but she'll send it to us. Okay, I want to see what's on your list. I want to know that they're playing diversity bingo because I haven't seen it yet, but I do love the idea of it. Carmen, tea time is over.
We are at the end and ready for our evaluation. We hope that you have enjoyed tonight and our activities. Let me see if I can get this link up there in the chat
yeah.
for you.
I should have taken care of that.
See, we at the end. All right. Sorry, I had to step away for a second. It's my last day of
There
construction.
is
going on.
any questions? I'm gonna stop sharing so I can see your faces because I haven't seen faces for a while.
I know. And ideas, guys, remember ideas. We don't know what you want. This never comes out right. It used to. Now it's a myth. Tell us what you want us to teach you.
What do you need? What are your support areas that
You need. Thank you, Carmen, for cleaning that up. The struggle is so real right now.
I'm sorry, can you put the QR code back up so that I can take a picture of it? Because
Oh,
sure.
Just, you know.
Be careful because I almost hit leave instead of QR code and share.
Thank you.